to House of Books. Normally I have someone with me, but I haven't actually found anyone who's read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I thought would be really, really popular. People seem to be waiting for the book adaptation, because this is a play. But I really like Harry Potter, and as soon as there's a new Harry Potter book, I was like, yes, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I pre-ordered it on Amazon months and months and months in advance. And it was only £9 for a hardback copy, which is nice. And unsurprisingly, it's a very, very high quality book, which is cool. But the actual content was interesting. It's not, you see, if you actually look at the cover, based on original news story by J.K. Rowling. So the play was actually written by Jack Thorne, it says there at the bottom. So it's not written by J.K. Rowling, and unfortunately you can tell. It reads a little, certainly not like Slash, because, you know, but it reads a little like fan fiction, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because there's some great fan fiction out there. But at any given point, I was kind of expecting the two main protagonists, Albus Severus and Scorpius, to suddenly drop the keks and get it on, because it didn't quite feel like a Harry Potter book. And I don't really know how to put my finger on that and give you any specifics, but it didn't feel like a Harry Potter book. Spoilers from this point on, if you've not read the book, you may not want to continue to read on. The time travel thing was all very wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, which is all very fashionable, but it was done reasonably well in a reading context. But I'm struggling to think how they would adapt so many quick scene changes to the theatre itself. This is certainly something that I suspect could only be put on in a massive production. You're not going to see tiny wee versions of this at any point, I don't think. And in all honesty, with the size of the franchise, you probably, you know, it's not going to be like an odd, obscure, I don't know, Hamlet being put on in a teeny weeny theatre, because I don't think anyone that small would be able to pay for the licence for it. So maybe that's an irrelevancy, but still made me think about it at least. And it was nice to read a play, because I've read books and books and books, comics, but pretty much since university I've not read plays. I've been to the theatre obviously, but I've not actually read any plays, and it was a really nice change and I really enjoyed it. And obviously it was in a universe I know, so it was familiar, but also it was going back to reading a play, which was cool. And I actually enjoyed that. I'm glad it was a play rather than another Harry Potter book, because it was an interesting change. One thing I did like was Harry has become unremarkable, and I love that kind of plot line. Obviously you get a lot of kids that were jocks at school, for example, and then they become losers once school's finished. It's not that far with Harry. But I did like the fact that he became unremarkable. Hermione's more successful than he is, for example. And I really liked the character development of Draco Malfoy. It handles his guilt and his how it feels to be the second best, and how it felt after the events, as well as his love for his son. It handled that really, really well, and that was really, really interesting. I really liked the development of Draco. But it does smack of cash-in, but I don't care. I love Harry Potter, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't an exceptional book, but it was perfectly readable. I got through it pretty quickly, and it's a fun read, and it's a different read because it's a novel. It's not a novel. So, all in all, I think it's something that, if you like Harry Potter, you should read. It does rely very heavily on knowledge of previous books, so it's not one that I'd recommend you go straight into. It's very much I like Harry Potter, I've missed out on Harry Potter for the last however many years. It's a bit retro, you know. It's for the fans. It's not something that you would want to start with. because it self-references so much to the books. And that would be the same for the play as well. If you went to go and see it, I think you'd suffer from the same problem. You'd struggle to understand what was going on. But it's an interesting addition. It's flawed, and it's clearly not written by J.K. Rowling, but it's still something that I enjoyed because I like Harry Potter. See you next time on House of Books.